So today on Project Shop, we are gonna try to fill up our steel trailer with a bunch of stuff I have laying around here. We're gonna take a little break from the AC compressors while we figure out our electrical issue. And we're just gonna go around and find all these, big steel things that basically need to get out of here. There's just some big ass breaker. There's just some big old breakers in there. Probably worth a couple dollars. So basically we're just going to clear this panel and then throw some other stuff in it, and then wow, that's really heavy. I have a bunch of stuff out here. I'm gonna be doing a massive shop cleanup because things have just gotten completely out of control. Right now all my trailers are full. I got a huge generator on that one. We have all this scrap here. My plan today is to get rid of this pallet, get rid of that pallet, sort through that and get rid of much of that as possible. Maybe get the cage and whatever off of this, and get that generator off that trailer. I'm gonna need it. I've been throwing stuff in this trailer so far. I had a little bit of shit on the other trailer. I had a little bit of scrap on the other trailer. And, oh. Okay, I thought that was cast aluminum. I just threw it in here because I actually needed that trailer. Wait till you see what's on that trailer. I needed that for something. But we're filling this thing up. We have a bunch of stuff over here that I need to go through today. So hopefully we'll blow through these two pallets as well. Maybe get onto this stuff and just get this stuff out of my life. Clear this place out a little bit. Get me some breathing room. And then we can actually start getting onto some cool things that I got coming up, man. So I'm actually going to stretch a cord out here and charge the battery on this thing, because it's going to need a good bit of charge to get this thing up. And I think someone had mentioned in the comments that the pump sounded weak or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was just the hydraulic fluid looked extremely low. So we'll have to check that out, make sure it's not leaking. I mean, this guy probably never even checked anything on here, and everything might be all original with this thing. We're going to start it right here, and it's on the verge. Let's see if we can't get that to slide over a little bit. Maybe not. Probably should have done it with the lid closed. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. So, we got a key. Okay, now this thing here, I don't know if this one was bad. It was laying in there, but my generator guy told me to save these things because they're worth a lot of money and sometimes they're hard to get. We'll put them in this box, and he might be interested in some of this stuff. I don't know. It's a lot of interesting stuff, but for the most part, we're just going to send it right to the scrap yard. See, I don't even know why I just took that off. This flathead. Throw this with our computer boards. It's got some big transformers on it. Probably not worth much, doesn't look like anything special there. But I'm just going to save all the computer boards until I figure out what I'm going to do with them. Now I got a big pile. Okay. Oh, check these out, man. These are cool little switches. Depending on what they do, I might have a use for that. It's like an interrupter switch or an end switch or something. Start ourselves a little goodie box. Okay. I wonder if all these things looks like they all got a little piece of copper in them. Brass. They got a little piece of brass in there. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. Being that it's full of plastic, we'll just let it slide for the shred price. But we will take the wire. straight up number one right there. Okay. I gotta get a bag or a bin. I'll just use a bag for now. Some of that could go as prepared steel. Thing like that. It's just funny how it's Phillips flathead sockets, and then that BS. Oh. It's a 110 volt motor. What a reduction on it. Now we can see our breakers. Wow. These are 400 amps. Now, there's like some there's a whole bunch of stuff here. This one doesn't look like it has it. These things are basically like they have to be sold in a pair or something, or they're matched to each other, or something's going on with them. The guy was telling me, but the breaker guys, he was explaining something about that. They have to be calibrated or whatnot. But either way, we're going to pull these out. I think it's too bad they cheaped out and it's not copper. Because you're gonna throw all this in with the cast. I gotta get a cast bucket in here or something. Great. Okay. So this thing's got these square bits and they freaking stripped out. Okay. Well, that's about as far as I'm going to go with that. Normally I would try to, maybe I would cover some of this hardware. Normally I'd pull these isolators, but I got piles of them already. So I'm good with that. I'll just take these washers and anything free, ready to rock and roll. I am going to pull those lugs off in the corner there. So I always throw these with the extrusion, or I save them over there. My generator guy comes over and barters with me and drops me off some copper wire for exchange for some of these things. If you had to buy some of these, like some of the big intricate ones that I have, could be up to like 50 bucks, man. So to me, they're worth saving. Okay, we're gonna get this out of here. All right, it's actually the next day. It started raining last night and I had to move some stuff around, and I also fixed my electrical issue. So that panel and those breakers you can't even get no more. They are, not only they're outdated, but they're like outlawed. You can't put them in. If you sell a house or a building that has them in there, insurance won't cover you unless you change out the panel. So I'm very fortunate that I get those breakers a lot, because all my electrical contractor customers are changing them out, and I literally have a 55-gallon drum full of breakers. I found the right style. I mean, there's tons and tons of different styles out there, and I had the right style 50 amp that fit in there. I was able to actually move it over, because not only did it damage the back of the breaker, which I have around here somewhere. Anyway, it actually damaged the panel inside. So I was able to slide everything over, and we're in a good space now. What we're not going to do is run the big 5-horse air compressor, crank that plasma cutter up to 50 amps, and run the wire stripper all at the same time, because that's a 220 5-horse motor, and Oliver was cranking out some wire, which I just put back on the scale, but we got about $1,000 he cranked out that day. Anyway, I'm going to clear this table. Right now I'm working on a bunch of fan motors. I recovered a couple transformers. We got all these fan motors up here. I want to get all this stuff cleaned up. I got a bunch of ballast over there I'm going to process with the jaw, and then I have a bunch of these things here that got brass. There's a bunch of brass nuggets, nice little chunks of brass. That whole thing is brass, and I think I have some more of this somewhere. I'll probably just get rid of it. It's nothing I'm ever going to really use. More brass. You know, this got brass, copper, and aluminum in that one. So we'll get all that liberated. We'll strip these couple pieces of wire. I got myself set up to where I can work in the shop, because we got rained out last night. It's been pouring all morning. There is kind of a break right now, but the radar says rain all day. I'm just going to work on clearing this table, getting all these things prepped. I'm going to blow through this. We're going to recover some electric motors. I don't know if I'm going to process these or not. I mean, I paid 5 cents a pound for all this stuff. This is aluminum. I think that expanded metal is aluminum. That's steel. I believe the fan itself in there, that part there, is aluminum. So we got to see what's going to be the best way. We'll open up one, see if it's going to be worth actually cutting the copper out. I do have a bunch of these. We'll see. No matter what we do, just taking it apart, I'm going to make some money on it. At 5 cents a pound, I'm going to get 60 for the aluminum, 26 or something for the motor. So we might just sell it as is, as electric motor. And then once I go through these bins and get this aluminum out of here, and I can move this stuff out of the building, we're going to bring over the AC compressor recycling machine. And I think what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to, because I don't want to run into a problem again with the 220, I'm going to take this compressor, not today, but eventually I'm going to take this one and I'm going to move it over to my other bay. There's a 220 outlet over there. There's a 40 amp 220 with heavier gauge wire. It's funny, or it might be a 30 amp, 30 or 40, whatever it is. It's got heavier wire than the 50 amp that's powering that whole panel over there, which is, it's just a nightmare with the electrical here. But anyway, I'll put that over there. That way I can run that compressor over there on a different circuit, not on the same lugs, getting everything hot. And then we can run two 220s, or even 3. That's what we were doing. We were running 3 220 setups at the same time on one breaker, and it really didn't like it, and it let me know about it. So with that being said, is that the 50? No, that's a 20. Yeah, I just happen to have a whole, I got to go through all of this. This is a nightmare over here. We got so much scrap everywhere. Literally, it's out front, out back. Now I don't leave, just so everybody knows, I don't leave anything aluminum or copper outside overnight, unless I'm here working all night, which happens sometimes. So don't get any ideas like you're gonna come around here and get a good lick. You might get shot. Anyway, I'm gonna just time lapse this, me cleaning this up, cleaning these motors. I'll probably break out the plasma cutter and cut these free. We did do one of these Dayton. These are all them fan motors, and it did turn out to be copper, but man, look at that, there's 2 different color coils in there. That's interesting. Better just double check to make sure. I mean, if there's any copper in it at all, I'll be yeah, okay, that's all copper. So we'll have a bunch of these to split and pull. And I'm hoping as long as the rain holds out, I got 2 monster generators out front. And 2 smaller ones. I'd love to get the copper out of them, get them things out of my life. And then what I'm gonna do, I do have 2, look, it's already raining again. I do have 2 small pickup, well, not small, I do got 2 pickups to do this week. Today's Monday, but my goal is to not pick anything up and just spend the whole week in the shop just going through everything. If I ain't touched it in a while, or I don't have a direct project for something, it's got to go. And we're gonna sort. I think I'm gonna start with my office just to clear my head in there, clean that up. I just got bins and computers and stuff everywhere. And then I'm gonna work my way into the tool room, which is an absolute nightmare. And then we're gonna work on this whole mess, because coming soon, I'm telling you, we got some cool stuff coming. But anyway, for now, we're gonna focus on some copper today. All right, so these things are somewhat tedious, but they're not too bad. Well worth taking apart, in my opinion, being that I paid 5 cents a pound for them, and you're getting this big sheet of aluminum. This is aluminum cast and electric motor. Now, I did process one of these motors. They don't take too much to get apart. I'm gonna wait until I get the stator wrecker set up before I actually break down the rest of them, because what I'm gonna do is weigh one, see what they're worth at what are they, 26 cents a pound, something like that. And then we're gonna split that, pull the copper out, see if it's worth it. For now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set the rest of them out, and I'm gonna kind of set them out here on the ground. I need to like do a bunch of them at once. Just a couple here or there is just not getting it. It's just too tedious. So I'm gonna go ahead, set them out. Steve might be he's over there working on a car. He might be coming over to give me a hand. And as soon as I get rid of this aluminum, as soon as I get rid of these 2 pallets, we're gonna shift gears onto some copper. We're gonna process the transformers that can go through the machine, because I need to get that pump over here on the stator wrecker. And once I do that, then we're gonna go ham on all this stuff here. And maybe while I'm cutting these things, I got 2 small generators and I got 2 big generators outside. Maybe we'll have Steve work on them. I'd really like to get the stators off of them and process tonight while I got this thing out and we're cooking along. So I'm gonna get one up on the table and show you exactly what it's taken to do this. So this one, and I think this came from like a laundromat or something. It's got all kinds of gunk on some of these. I'm not sure what these were, but I like the fact that they were out in the rain, because it matted this stuff down. It's not like kicking up dust everywhere. Okay. So this one is tough. Don't want to come off that shaft. I'm just going to cut that with a plasma cutter when I actually some nice hardware coming off this stuff. Stripped it. That's all aluminum. That one kicked up. This stuff's starting to dry out. That kind of kicked up a little dust there. Show you one in real time real quick. Basically, pull these washers and rubber grommets off. I'll probably save some of this hardware. And then it's just a bunch of 7/16. There we go. So once you do that, I come through cut the wires. And then the whole thing will come off. They have literally zip ties holding this on. This is aluminum expanded metal. I'm throwing this with the prepared steel. This is sheet aluminum. If your yard was a little picky, you'd probably have to knock them out. I'm gonna let them slide. And then this is the only real kind of tedious part. For the most part, they were coming off. 4 7/16. You gotta get your finger on the back of the nut. And then there is a little square. Once you get this free, I was able to get in there with an impact. But sometimes it doesn't want to get it with that. You got to get on it with a little wrench. And then there's a gap right there. Crack it right out. Some of them, like that one, gave me some problems. That's all sheet metal. And then that's all aluminum. So I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of them all out. And we'll kind of, oh, and that was a piece of cast. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?